All right, just like absolute values, isolate the square root. So divide by 2.
You had to have gotten it yesterday.
What about what?
Oh, what about birthday?
All right, how do you get rid of square roots? Square both sides. Raise it to the proper power was your notes. So since this is the square root, to get rid of square root, you square both sides. And then 3 squared is 9. Add over 1, 10. When you go back to check to see if it works, you're plugging into the original equation, and there's 2 steps I want to see. Yes, I want to see them. Tomorrow, I am grading that you do these 2 steps. Should be the easiest 2 points you get, even if you get the wrong answer. I go back to the original equation. I plug in my answer, and I make sure the left side equals the right side. So this is 9. The square root of 9 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. I want you to try it. All right, on 36, first thing you want to do is rewrite it as a radical equation. Because what radical is 1/3? Cube root. Yeah, the bottom is your root. The cube root of x plus 7 plus 2. You have to get the cube root by itself.
This is going to be on the test.
We will divide by 3, but you want to get rid of the 2 first.
So everything that's going to be on the test is
This packet.
20.
That's it, like the answer is 20?
Yeah, I think so.
Divide by 3 because of the big 3 in front of your radical. And then the cube root of x plus 7 equals 3. How do you get rid of cube root?
You cube it.
Cube both sides. So to get rid of square root, you square both sides. To get rid of cube root, you cube both sides. Cube root and the cube cancel. Anything in the cube root comes out. 3 times 3 times 3. 27.
Yes, I was right.
So the answer minus over 7. X equals 20.
Do I have to show my work? I already know.
You have to show me your 2 steps for checking. If you get the wrong answer, I can't give you partial credit. So I will leave that up to you.
But if I got the right answer, do I need to?
You have to be able to explain how you got it to me. Like if I call you over and be like, how'd you get this? You can't say Emily's paper.
Oh, but can you say
how
through the steps?
And you get the answer right, but not like the work right. So x equals 20. When I went to check it, 11 equals 11. 20 is the right answer. All right, 38. If there's a square root on both sides, we're going to square both sides.
I knew it. No, you didn't. I get a star.
On 39, there's a cube root on both sides, so you're going to cube both sides. And you will have to cube the 2 because it's outside the radical. Square root, square cancel, square root, square cancel.
Wait, so you don't have to Oh, 2x times 2x is not 4x.
2x times 2x. Where are we multiplying 2x? I cancel. The squared cancel out the square root. The square and the root and the square cancel. And then that's the equation we're solving.
Oh, you solve like a regular equation?
Yeah.
Equation? Is it 2-step? Did you call it 2-step equation?
Might be 3.
2.
Multi, because it's more than 2. You can't do 2 steps. So I don't care if you minus x or minus 2x, just solve it somehow.
Minus x. Wait, wrong thing. Gotta add that too. I got minus that too. I don't remember.
When you check your answer, if there's two x's, you plug your answer into both x's. So the square root of 2 plus 3, square root of 2 times 2 plus 1. Do they equal? Yeah, this would be the square root of 5, and this would be the square root of 5. So 2 is your answer. Make sure I'm not circling square root of 5 equals square root of 5. I'm circling that x equals 2. This is just that I checked my answer. No. All right, 40 and 41 is going to be your bonus for your test because it involves factoring. And guess what we're doing on Friday? Reviewing how to factor. So we're reviewing how to factor on Friday because we need it for our quadratic unit. So we're going to talk about it right now, but I'm not going to teach it right now. So add over 5.
What did you just do?
Add over
Yeah,
5.
I did over 5.
Will?
Squareable. Yes, ma'am.
Square both sides.
Yes, ma'am.
Square root and the square cancel.
Why'd you square
Parentheses
this
x plus 5 times parentheses x plus 5.
To square a binomial, to square two terms, you write that parentheses twice and distribute. Just with, same thing with radicals, same thing with complex numbers. You write your parentheses twice and then distribute. X times x. X times 5. 5x times, 5 times x. And 5 times 5.
Karen?
Who's Karen? Why do you
So we're going to simplify, and we want to get all the terms on the side with x squared. So I'll simplify first, so I'm not doing too many steps. 5x is 10x. Subtract over x. Subtract over 7. So 0. 10x
wait?
minus x.
You only want to equal to 0 for fractions.
If you're factoring, you say equal to 0. 25 minus 7.
You said it.
25 minus 7.
You didn't get
17. Positive. Now you're messing with me.
18. It's 18.
18.
It's not.
My body switches
It's
negative.
not negative.
18.
No.
What is my answer?
3, 6.
3 and 6. If I times 3 times 6, I get 18. If I add 3 and 6, I get 9.
That's 5.
So 3 and 6. How you get your multiples of 18, you just do 18 divided by 1, I get 18. 18 divided by 2, I get 9. 18 divided by 3, I get 6. 18 divided by 4, I get decimal, so that's not my list. So 3 and 6. So it'll be x plus 3 and x plus 6.
Not this whole problem.
Oh my goodness.
Just the factor. They would just give us two numbers and figure that out.
X plus 3, x plus 6. And then you set both of those factors equal to 0 and solve.
Where did the x squared go?
X squared is x times x. So if I was to FOIL this out,
Why did we need to find the factor of 9 and 18?
if I was to FOIL this out, I'd get x squared plus 3x plus 6x plus 18. So that is equal to what we just found. That's, you don't want to FOIL it out, but that's just how you go backwards to check that you factored correctly. So I factored that correctly.
Oh, so you just factor it so that you can set up that. Like you're just changing to get rid of the x squared.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how you solve equations with x squared. When you factor, you have to when you solve an equation with x squared, you have to factor. So if I have 2 times x equals 0, what does x have to be? 0. It's got to be 0. Negative 0. If I have x times y equals 0, they're equal to 0, right? So that's what I'm doing here. This is being times by this. So I have to set them equal to 0. I said I'm both equal. I said I'm both equal to 0, and then you'll have your 2 answers.
Wait, what? Oh.
Because to make these 2 things multiply and give me 0, one or both of them has to equal 0. So you set them equal to 0.
So those are your answers.
So your answer is negative 3 and negative 6. And then you have to check both of them. There's a reason this is our bonus.
This is like death.
I think death would be more.
Maybe we need to make
I think we need a bit of help.
Wait, you have to go. Death is like a one and done time. It's,
7 minus 3 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. This one works.
We also threatened to fill our parking inside.
Negative 6 plus 7 is 1. 1 minus 5. Negative 4. Negative 4 equals negative 6. No. We have one answer, negative 3. Yeah, it didn't work. When I plugged in negative 6, it didn't work. So that's not my answer. Just negative 3 is my answer.
Sex is like a waffle and a pillow.
I'm so happy. This is the best part of the trip.
All right. I also want to show you a different way to solve this long, complicated equation. Complicated. Graphing. By graphing it. You can graph the left side. And you can graph the right side. Where they intersect is your answer.
No.
So the left side is the square root function moved left 7 down 5. Left 7 down 5.
He's not recording.
Those are the only 2 I know.
Okay, so you just write it with your translation.
Left 7 down 5. Left 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down 5.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
That's
7.
only when it's
1,
equal to x.
2, 3, 4, 5. Your parent function is your square root. So I moved it left 7 down 5. Yes.
You have no word for next.
Okay. Thank you.
Because Hanny used it all.
I used the last one.
So that's the left side. Guess what? You have a graphing calculator.
No way. That's great.
Graph it in your graphing calculator.
No, but it's typing this.
I'm going to go back. Square root. Square. Can you stop this? Square root x plus 7 minus 5. All right, guys. On the right, the x is just a linear line. You need to know your parent functions. That's why we learned that first.
I was so intelligent.
I know. Order matters.
Thank you.
All right. Where do they intersect?
3. No.
-3.
-3, -3. Your answer is your x value. X equals -3.
And our class sponsor, like every class has a sponsor, like a teacher that helps. And it's the
Now, on the test, at the graph.
44.
Negative 10i.
All right, 44.
10i.
10i.
Word.
It's the square root of -1 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. A 2 comes out, a 5 comes out. The square root of -1 is imaginary.
beautiful.
I can literally do this in the whole test.
46.
I could do this.
Can you do 45 instead?
I could
No.
do this.
First
2,
45 is gonna be
3,
much harder.
3.
46.
Do we have to put the -1, or can we just assume that there's going to be an I?
I would do it this way because if the negative's on the outside, then it won't be an I.
No, but like if we just don't put -1 at all.
Yeah, that's fine. Just don't mess up.
Hey, if I don't take this
But
test, how much do you think?
If you have,
This is your third test, so the highest you could possibly be making without this test is a 80.
Oh, I'm cool with that.
But that's if you have 100 in the class. The highest you could have is an 80.
I have an
So,
82.
Yeah, you could have 600.
all right, subtracting. Distribute your negative.
Roast.
a 50 is better than a 0.
Combine your real terms. Combine your imaginary terms.
0 is better than -50.
But you just foiled.
No, this is subtracting.
Oh.
You got to look at the sign in the middle. If there's no sign in the middle, that's when you foil.
Yeah, my bad. Hey, that-
I will see that mistake tomorrow.
What?
People will try to foil these.
That's what Lillian
I do it
does.
every time. And then I realize halfway through there's a minus there.
So 2/4 minus
I concur.
10i,
-9.
Plus 4. Negative
7, 8, 9, 10.
Negative 10.
Imagine wanting to be alive. Oh! No,
Questions?
don't report me.
Wait, so, will it tell us which section to start imagining numbers?
I mean, imaginary numbers is through the whole test. No.
Like, will it be sections? Will it just be random order?
It's very similar to this.
Does it have 59 questions?
No.
30?
No.
25?
Oh, it only has 25.
I know, but
I'm
it's
definitely
not
using that.
really hard.
Or that means that you're gonna.
Wait, it only has 25 questions? Wait, did you subtract?
All right, keep going. Now what am I doing? Adding, subtracting, multiplying. Multiplying.
I think I should have got extra points on this. Thank you. But instead I got 7. Me either.
For the project, I do not recall you telling me. Yeah, I know you left me here whole day. By myself. I recall.
I was doing beautiful things.
You need to listen to me when you get home.
Beautiful things. I was in a lake.
I squared.
So good.
I cubed.
The part where it's just
Negative I
it's just laying in the bathtub.
and 1. Negative I, negative I, 1. Negative I, negative I, 1.
No,
Negative I, negative I, 1.
you're not saying it right.
I mean, -1, negative I, 1.
I
There
said
we
that the first time.
Negative 1, 9.
I don't like that.
Negative 18 I squared. I squared is negative 1. So I'm going to replace
Very, very loud.
18 I squared with negative 1. So it's positive
I
18.
can hear it.
See me and Corinne remember the ice.
Good enough, friend?
Beautiful.
So negative 8
It's
plus 18
I don't even remember.
is 10.
How did she not know?
Make sure you put the real number before the imaginary number. Standard form, real number before imaginary.
Why do imaginary numbers exist?
For electricity, or you wouldn't have electricity. Uses imaginary numbers. Electricity uses imaginary numbers. So if we didn't have imaginary numbers, we would not have light right now.
But they're imaginary, so they don't exist.
Who came up with the term imaginary numbers?
At this
So
point,
everything that's on the test.
Yes, there's extra credit. You even already know what the bonus on the test is. So multiply them together. I multiplied 2 of them together. Usually you think multiply the first 2 together, but you're doing 5 times a half.
Ew. Oh, so it's
Ew.
2.5.
Ew.
2.5.
So instead of doing the first 2, I'd probably do the second 2 on this one first. Because a half times 6 is a nice number. But you can use 2.5 if you want. But on 54, multiply 2 of your parentheses together. Get an answer. Then multiply the last one together. The biggest mistake I saw on yesterday's is that people tried to add an addition sign here. I don't know why. There's no addition sign here. They're all multiplying. So negative 5i times 3i cubed. And then negative 5 times 3 is negative 15i to the 4th.
And then the 4th is 1. So it'll just be negative 15.
So it'll just be negative 15.
Yo.
should I throw up or should I throw up?
Which, so there's.
You don't even have to do 1 first. You can even, what's 5? Negative 5 times a half times 6.
Don't know.
Neither do I.
3 times negative 5 is
5 times, wait, was it negative 5? Negative 5.
negative 15.
Negative 5 times 1 half times 6. Negative 15. Negative 15. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could have gone straight to this. And some people do. Some people just do negative 5 times a half times 6 is negative 15. I times I squared is I to the 4th. And then I to the 4th, you have to know is 1. So your answer is just negative 15.
I saw Ron outside the other day taking
I to the 28. What's it equal?
what?
Nice. I to the 28 equals 1.
How do you know?
Because 4 goes into it nicely. So I could write I to the 28 as 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 1, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 4. So that's 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So that's 1. I can come help you with 17 once I finish 58.
Why did we do the easiest one?
All right, 58. What is the conjugate of 38 minus 16i?
Don't I just multiply them together?
So
Times 38 minus
I'm not asking you to square this. What is the complex conjugate of 38 minus 16i? 38 plus 16i. This is just what we did yesterday.
So like
Opposite sign of the imaginary.
that's the whole and then multiply them together. Cute.
So one part of my answer is this. Find the complex conjugate or conjugate. Here it is. Then multiply them together.
Conjugate the verb.
That's a big number. What's 38 times 38?
You know you.
1, 4, 4, 4. Okay.
Ew.
What's 38 times 16? Negative 228i. And 16 times 16? I'm believing you.
Squared.
I'm believing you. Don't let me down. Those cancel out. 256 I squared.
-1.
-1.
Or my mistake.
I got a little 4 happy.
We were singing that the other day.
Plus
I think we're
256.
singing that this week.
I is the square root of -1.
Yeah.
Just regular iPhone.
No, one second. 0, 1, 0, 1.
Something imaginary.
Probably.
All right. Coming around for the rest of the class to answer any questions you have. Use this time wisely.